Welcome to Beans, Bangers and Mash. I'm your host Mash, and today we're doing another Harry Potter video. I want to see a few other spin-offs of Harry Potter, and we're talking about the Wizarding World and what has happened throughout the history. I want to see more of Harry Potter's world. Here are some ideas of movies or a series I actually want to see. So first, we're kicking off with something very easy. It's the Quidditch sports movie. I want to see a Quidditch sports movie. I want to see a character rising up in the ranks, getting into a team, absolutely dominating strength and moving up to become one of the greatest Quidditch players of all time. And I want to see an actual Quidditch World Cup match as well, since we were denied in the Goblet of Fire, where they had the chance to have a Quidditch World Cup. We didn't really get much of it. We just saw a huge fucking stadium. But I want to see a Quidditch movie, because I reckon it would be fantastic. The next is the Goblin Rebellions. They talk about the Goblin Rebellions, especially in the books, and what happens. Is this all about slavery? I believe that the witches and wizards weren't treating the goblins very well, and I want to see what the goblins do. It would be a fantastic fucking story. Tell the goblin side of the story on why the witches and wizards are so damn prejudiced, and why now the witches and wizards have a different perspective with the goblins. So what did the goblins actually do? And I think this would be a fantastic story to actually explore. And you could actually create a few movies within this event, and also include the Giant Wars as well. We all know that the Giant Wars, especially in the books where Harry and Ron actually study this, we all know the Giant Wars was a huge battle back in the 17th century or something like that. This is all about the wizards fighting the rise of the giants, because the giants were obviously going to absolutely cause havoc if the Ministry of Magic or if the wizards didn't actually defeat the giants. And I know this is a huge battle. This would be a huge conflict movie. It really would. It be an absolutely chaotic, bloody movie. And I reckon seeing a war with giants would be fucking fantastic. It would just be a fantastic history lesson. Would actually see how everything shaped the current day wizarding world, how all these conflicts shaped. So the next idea I want to see is the actual founders. We are talking about Godric Gryffindor, Salazar Slytherin, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Helga Hufflepuff. We're talking about these four that created one of the best schools in history. We're talking about Hogwarts. These four created Hogwarts, formed these houses. How did these houses formed? How did these students come together? Where did all these witches and wizards come from? I want to see Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff's and Slytherin's story. Why did Salazar Slytherin create the Chamber of Secrets? And how come and what caused Salazar to actually sabotage Hogwarts? That's what I want to see. His very own school. Was it because of jealousy? We don't know yet. I want to know why. So the next idea is the First Wizardry War. And this is when Lord Voldemort is at his strongest. And there was a huge war unfolding. And I want to see what happened. Certainly they talk about what happened. But wouldn't it be great to actually watch it? We saw the Second Wizardry War. The Second Wizardry War was epic. The First Wizardry War would be even epic as well. It would be fantastic. Dumbledore dueling Voldemort. I want to see Regulus Black. I want to see the build-up of the First Wizardry War. I want to see what happens after Grindelwald. And basically, the rise of Voldemort. The rise of Voldemort could easily fit into the First Wizardry War. And this where it leads to the rise of the Dark Lord. The whole entire life of Tom Riddle. I want to see that. They show Harry with the pensieve. They flash a few memories, but I want to see how Tom Riddle becomes Voldemort. I want to see what he does with the children in the caves. This would be an absolute brutal story to tell. You could actually end his story at the First Wizardry War, because we know what happens towards the Second Wizardry War. But having his story told in his younger days would be fucking fantastic. Just how Tom Riddle became the Dark Lord Voldemort. Okay, so the next spin-off I want to see is the Aurors. We're talking about Mad-Eye Moody here. Aurors fighting these dark witches and wizards How good would that be? Also, the search of the Dark Lord after the first Wizarding War. It would be absolutely a fantastic story to tell. Just how violent this movie could get as well. How there'd be so many deaths, especially hunting those dark witches and wizards. How they caused havoc, especially hunting the Death Eaters as well. It'd be a fucking fantastic movie to watch. And the legendary or Mad Eye Moody during his glory days as well would be fantastic to watch. Believe it or not, in the Wizarding world, there are other schools other than Hogwarts. We'll maybe go on to a different school because we know there's different schools because of the Goblet of Fire. We had Durmstrang and Burbaxton. Maybe have a story of those schools or something like that. I think that would be absolutely awesome. And just the overall history of following a character in their trials and tribulations. Certainly there'll be the same elements, the like magic and everything, but there will be certain different stories to tell as well. I think that would be a fantastic fucking spin-off by having another Wizarding world. And finally is the Marauders, the creation of the Marauders map. James Potter, Sirius Black, Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew. I want to see the creation of the Marauders map. A movie about the Marauders map as well. Mischief Managed. I mean, that would be an absolutely fantastic fucking movie. It would be an actually fun movie. We could actually see the young Professor Snape. We could see also Lily Potter as well. We could see the bullying of Snape. There are just so many possibilities within the Marauders as well. I think it would be a really fun movie to watch. That's where I leave you for the Harry Potter spin-offs I would love to see. So yeah, comment below your spin-off movies you'd like to see as well, and I will see you in the next video.